Hi, good afternoon, MASC. It's good to see you today. We are excited to bring you our second little interview. Some of you may have noticed that earlier we posted an interview with high school people, specifically for high school students and advisors. But today we want to focus on our middle level. All month, the whole month of May, which focuses on mental health, MASC is doing a variety of activities, interviews, presentations, handouts that we hope will help you stay mentally healthy during this crazy time. I don't want to say, it's all bad, because it's not. There are a lot of positive things that have come out of our requirement, if you will, to stay at home. But we also know that some of you are feeling a little anxious and overwhelmed, and we want to do whatever we can to help you. So I want to invite into our interview this afternoon two people that are super special to me and have done a great deal of work in the world of student council. They are coming to you today because they are specifically middle level counselors, and they have a great feeling and expertise in this area, and we're super excited to be a part of what we're doing. So if we could bring them up on the screen, I'm going to ask each of them to introduce themselves to you. We have two middle level counselors, and the first one, I'll go to Kaylee and let her introduce herself and tell us who she is and where she's from.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Barnes, and I am a middle school counselor at Lafayette County C1 in Higginsville, Missouri. Go Huskers! This is my 8th year in education and my 5th year as a middle school counselor.
Very good. Thanks, Kaylee. And next we have Tara. Tara, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Tara Holden. I am a middle school counselor at South Valley Middle School in Liberty, Missouri, which is just north of Kansas City. This is my 2nd year as a school counselor. Before that, I worked for 5 years in children's hospitals with helping kids cope. And then I have been involved with Stuco for an MASC for a little over 10 years now.
Very good. Well, I want to put a plug in for both of these girls because they are definitely MASC made. They attended camp as summer delegates when they were in high school and also served as JCs, and now are on our adult staff during summer workshops. So definitely are all in when it comes to MASC. Well, ladies, let me just ask you a few questions, and if you want to take turns answering, that would be great. The first thing I want to ask is, do you think that right now our middle level kids are feeling anxious or worried right now during this stay-at-home time and the fact that they can't go to school and are missing activities? Do you think that's true, and what kinds of things are you seeing? So let's start with Tara, and could you just tell us what you think, Tara?
Yeah, I definitely think our kids are anxious, just with that uncertainty. No one knows what's happening next, and a lot of them rely on the adults around them to provide that support and to answer their questions and answer the unknown. But a lot of us adults don't really know what's going to happen. And so I think that uncertainty is really getting them anxious. And then I also think they're just miss school, and they miss that connection piece with their friends and their teachers. And I think we're all realizing that how much that connection is so important. And so I think a lot of them are really missing that part too.
I absolutely agree with you. And Kaylee's shaking her head. So let me jump to her and see what she's thinking about this right now.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of anxiety with all kids at this point in time. But for our middle school kids, just being out of that routine of what we're doing every single day and getting up in the mornings and going to school and having that plan, and that plan's kind of gone right now. So trying to figure out how to stay in a routine will definitely, I think, help with their anxiety. but just also just going through that grief of like missing your friends and missing your teachers. It's one of those things that we don't realize until something like this probably happens, how important the people that are around us are every single day.
Right. I really believe that that's across the board. I mean, and I think it's even harder for middle school because you are so used to a routine, and it's so important to them to have those connections with their teachers and to see their friends. That I have a middle school nephew who said, not very long ago, I just want to go to school. Like, I just want to see my friends. And I think that that is really weighing on everybody right now. Do you think that there are specific things that kids are talking about right now, especially in regard to their mental health, or what they're worrying about more than anything right now?
I think definitely kids are worried about their parents, is what I've heard from several kids. Is maybe they're staying at home because our middle level kids can't drive, but mom and dad are going to work, or maybe mom and dad are going to the grocery store, things like that. And so they're worried about their parents, and they can feel that stress from their parents because we're all stressed out, and that definitely trickles down to them. And then I think a lot of them are struggling with that motivation piece. They struggle to get out of bed because there is no routine. There is no alarm clock or school making sure you get there on time and things like that. And so I think just encourage them, even if you just do one thing today, like one thing school-wise, or if you need to take a break from school today and you need to pick things that make you happy, do that. And so trying to make sure they're not beating themselves up too much on we're all having hard days, and finding that motivation is hard for even us adults right now.
And, I think that's just so important because many times adults try to hide what's going on with us from our kids. We don't want to worry them. We don't want them to be stressed out about our own concerns, but really maybe a frank conversation with our kids, because they are worried, and especially at middle level, they see what's going on, and they want to be a part of the solution, I think, not a part of the problem.
Yeah.
I really like what you said, Tara, about being worried about their parents. I really hadn't thought about the fact that parents are going to work and they are going to the grocery store, or in some cases, maybe they're not working, and that's another piece of the worry.
Mm-hmm.
Parents are out doing things, and kids are concerned about that. Absolutely. Kaylee, what kinds of things do you think that your middle school kids are talking about in relation to their mental health right now?
Definitely agree with everything that Tara says. Just that worry of their parents, and a lot of them are taking on more responsibilities now, watching younger brothers and sisters. And then you add on to the piece of, doing homework virtually and lessons virtually, and then trying to help their younger siblings do that too. So they're not only now a sibling, but now they're a caretaker, and now they're a teacher. And it puts a lot of pressure, from what I see with our kids, is that it does add pressure to them because they want to be successful and they want to help as much as they can, but they don't exactly know how because these times are so uncertain. And just social media in general has it can be a good thing, but it can be a bad thing too. And just, reading the different things or seeing different things can put a lot of scare into adults and kids both. And so, definitely limiting, that social media time, and asking questions, is this real? Or, I found this out and it's kind of scary. Having those conversations with people, I also find to be really important.
That's a really good point. And I absolutely have thought about this a million times with kids who have taken on the role of parent or teacher for their younger siblings. Just my own granddaughter. I have two granddaughters, and one of them is in third grade. And she is always worried about what the kindergartner is doing. And I think she's a mama bear anyway. But,
Mhm.
this really has brought it out more in her. And certainly at the age that you guys are dealing with, they are probably some of them the oldest in the home. So
Mhm.
they are taking care of things as mom and dad may not be there. Great. Those are really important for us to think about. I think as adults are watching this too, maybe we're giving them some things to think about as well.
Mhm.
Um, we really want to talk about some tips or some things that maybe middle level kids could do to kind of help themselves right now. We know that there's a lot of things that they can't do, but what are some things to try to keep a positive mental attitude or keep a good check on your mental health right now? And you've mentioned that limiting the social media, that's a great suggestion. And asking questions, I like that too. Tara, do you have one or two tips that you could suggest that maybe your kids could think about?
I definitely encourage a lot of the kids that I'm Zooming with or emailing that are struggling to go outside if they can. That getting some sunshine and just getting outside, even if you're just sitting on the porch or just going for a walk. I know with my mental health on those rainy days that it's really hard to find that motivation and to like feel like I'm really making an impact. But when the sun's shining, I feel like completely different. And so just taking advantage of that. And then I just encourage, like I talked about earlier, like finding that one thing to do for you that day. Whether that be some of the kids are journaling, some of the kids really love reading, maybe it is taking brain breaks and doing video games or FaceTiming a friend or a family member, just doing something for you that makes you happy and not feeling like bad about it, because we all need to do that right now.
We do. We do. I have always thought about when I do work, if I'm doing work at my desk, okay, it's time to get up and do something.
Yeah.
Sometimes that means getting a snack. Sometimes that means going outside, but that is really important. It does make you feel better when you do something for yourself. Great ideas. Kaylee, do you have any more suggestions that you want to add?
Yeah, I think one thing that I discuss with my kids is figure out how to win your day. And winning your day, you could pick one thing to help you win your day, or you can pick 5 things to help you win your day. But find something that when you accomplish it, you feel accomplished, because that always gives us a little bit more motivation, and it also makes us feel better. And those could be anything from cleaning your room to coloring or journaling or doing a math assignment or going outside. But write those things down the night before, and then when you wake up in the morning, this is what I need to do to win my day. And then when you check those boxes off, you feel like you're in a routine again, and it's a positive feeling. The other thing that I would suggest is do something kind. Um, we talk a lot about the fact that one simple thing, 1 second can change somebody's day. It can change that minute. It can change their life for that matter. So maybe it is send an email to a teacher and just say, hey, I was thinking about you today. Just want you to know that I hope you're having a good day and thank you for all you do. Or maybe it's reaching out to a grandparent, or maybe it's holding the door open for somebody. But try to find that little bit of kindness, doing something kind, because not only are you making their day better, but you're making your own day better as well.
That's a great idea. Great idea. I think we all are firm believers in the fact that service to others really does make a difference. And it doesn't make a difference just for the people that you're serving, but it makes a difference for yourself. And so I like the simple way that you said that. Do something kind. And sometimes that may be not fighting with your little brothers and sisters or, helping mom and dad set the table or getting dinner ready or, anything that is a normal routine kind of thing, but you're going out of the way to get that accomplished. we all also firmly believe in relationships. That's why we became school counselors and why we're in education. And it's hard to have relationships when you're separated or when you can't be close to each other or give hugs or high fives or whatever it is that we're accustomed to doing. But I think that you would also believe that if students are struggling, they need to reach out. And there's a million different ways that they can do that. And it sounds like you all are trying to stay connected with your kids. But one thing that I would say is there's definitely got to be a trusted adult in a student's life or a trusted friend that if they're struggling, they could reach out to. Do you guys have suggestions or ideas for who might be available to kids right now to be able to reach out to them? Or what would you tell a student that needed to talk to someone?
I definitely think that trusted adult, like you said, Terry, is so important. And that could be your parents, even if you're afraid to talk to them because you feel like they're stressed out, they want to hear from you and make sure that you're okay and be there for support. It can be, I know a lot of our teachers are emailing kids. It can be your social worker or a school counselor, any adult in the building that you have a connection with, they will be there to help. And if they think you need more resources, they will find someone to help you. So I definitely think just any of those trusted adults. And then if it feels like way too big of a step to tell someone that you trust, I think just those hotlines that we talk about, whether that be the 1-800-273-TALK, or they have a text line or an online messaging, or there's the Trevor Project for LGBTQ youth, like any of those. Sometimes if you have overwhelming feelings and talking to a stranger might be easier, those are really great resources too. But just know that all your teachers and adults in your schools miss you and would do anything for you that they aren't seeing you every single day.
Great. Good suggestions, Tara. Thank you. Kaylee, you want to wrap this up for us?
Sure. Definitely what Tara says, we, all of your teachers, all of your administrators, your staff, your parents, everybody, every adult in your life loves you. And we all want the best for you and we miss you. So definitely using those different tools, talking and reaching out to those people. The other thing that I would say is if you have a friend that maybe they're saying some stuff that's really making you feel like uncomfortable or worried, don't keep that into yourself. Reach out to your school counselor. Reach out if you have a therapist in your life or your school social worker or a parent. Make sure that you're taking care. You're not holding that stuff in, because we have to take care of each other sometimes, because sometimes our feelings are scary. And so being able to reach out and just say, hey, like, I'm really worried about my friend. These are some of the things that they're saying. And then allowing that adult to contact that individual's parents or reach out to that individual just to make sure that they're getting the help that they need as well.
Great. Well, I appreciate the fact that you mentioned that there might be some kids that wouldn't be strong enough to reach out, and maybe we as friends or as concerned, just in a concerned relationship, would need to help that particular kid reach out. Well, ladies, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you jumping on today with me and offering some suggestions and ideas. We are all about Mental Health Awareness Month because why? We matter. You matter, and we want to do whatever we can to help you. And all three of us would be more than happy to take a phone call or an email. If you need somebody to talk to, we're here for you because we're MASC made too. Thanks so much for joining us today, and watch for other things that we'll be putting out on our social media platforms over the coming days. Have a great day, MASC.